Do you want to know how to start building wealth? Do you know that people choose to be poor? People choose to be middle class? People choose to not learn the knowledge they need to start investing their money to become wealthy? It's your girl Tashana, and I'm back with another informational video so we can change energies and raise frequencies to help make the world a better place. Yes, to help make this world a better place. If you're new here, my name is Tashana, and I'm the founder of The Chosen One's Love, and we simply talk about things that can better people's lives on this channel. Motivational, inspirational, and informational videos 3 to 5 times a week to try to help push people forward in a positive direction, to let them know that anything can be done, but it all starts with your mindset. So please like and subscribe to get information about knowing better, doing better, being better, to ultimately feel better. Yes. So today's video is about how to build wealth. Now, in the Black community, I think this is very important, but not just in the Black community, in and around the world, period. Especially in America, because equality is scarce here. Equality as in rich and poor. They call Black people or people of brown skin minorities in America, and I believe it's only due to finances or wealth or, riches, money. And in that case, brown people, whether it be Black, Asians, Mexicans, a lot of people that have melanin in their skin don't know financial literacy. And they don't try to learn financial literacy, because if you give a person free food, a free place to live, and a place where they can depend on something that they think is going to last a lifetime, they're going to get content. They're going to get comfortable. And that's where a lot of poor mindsets thrive, and poor mentalities thrive. And they don't want to learn anything, and they stunt their growth, and they stay stagnant. And so eventually that you start having 50-year-old people, 40-year-old people with 16-year-old mindsets, with 18-year-old mindsets, because they don't keep gaining knowledge. They stop putting the knowledge they need in their brain to grow. Your brain is separate from your body, because your body's gonna grow regardless. Your age is gonna go up regardless. But your brain can stop growing. Your brain don't have to keep downloading new information or downloading information, period, for you to mature with your body, with your age. First thing we need to know with wealth building is that it's a long journey. You have to learn the knowledge. You have to start learning financial literacy if you want to build wealth in your family and break your generational curses as far as your financial states. Because you have a lot of people dependent on the government, living off low income, living off food stamps, living off medical. And don't get me wrong, I've had these things before. Honestly, I still have food stamps. I still have medical. And I'm on my way off of that. Me being a single parent, on my way off of those things, is super duper duper important and super duper hard. Me being a single parent on my way off of those things, as far as medical and food stamps, is super major, because I'm working towards the direction I want to go as far as building wealth. And so wealth building, first you have to educate yourself. Like, you have to learn financial literacy. If you don't learn financial literacy, you're not going to get nowhere. You need to learn how to properly keep your money, how to properly manage your money, how to properly budget your money. You need to learn what the difference between an asset and a liability is. A real asset and a real liability. Liabilities are all around us. They pique our interest. They put the shiny labels on there. That's what the government wants. They want to keep us distracted by materialistic things after getting you comfortable in a position to where you think you growing, you think you rich, you think you gaining wealth because you got a little bit of money, you got a little bit of cash. But we don't work for cash. The wealthy don't work for money. They don't work for cash. They let cash work for them. They let money work for them. They don't save money. Trust me. They don't save no money. They invest money. Okay. So after you seek the knowledge that you need to start building your wealth, you're going to want to get a regular source of income. And this is building wealth from scratch, y'all. You're going to want to get a regular source of income. Something that you can divide the 40-30-30 rule, where you pay your bills, and all your expenses with the 40%, and you save 30%, and you entertain your life and your family with the other 30%. And I say savings as far as keeping it until you have enough to invest in a passive income asset that will bring you money doing the least amount of work. After you learn the knowledge and you get a regular income, you want to create a budget. Like I say, the 40-30-30, or you could do 50-50, or you could just do a part of your money in the savings, a part of your money in the checking. Like, you have to figure out what's best for you. Everybody's household is different. Like, my household, being a single mom of 5 kids, is going to be on a different saving plan than a person with 1 kid, or a 2-person household with no kids. Like, everybody's going to have a different budget. So you need to figure out your budget that's for you, and you need to stick to your budget that is major. I'm sorry, but that is major. It's hard. It's so hard to stick to your budget. I am doing this budgeting thing, and I have all the books I need. I have my journal. I have my bills. I have what date they coming out on. I have how much I'm bringing in, how much going out. It is hard keeping up with your budget when you're starting from scratch, from being in debt or being in a poor financial mind frame, and you're starting and your bills and everything is out of control. Like, your liabilities are out of control. Your budget is out of control before you get the financial literacy, and so it's stressful. It's stressful trying to get it all in order, trying to get it together, but it's doable. And if you take your time, sit there, drink you a cup of tea, maybe 1 glass of wine, and or champagne. I ain't mad at the champagne either. And you sit there and you literally write down everything that's coming in and everything that's going out. And when you first start budgeting, you're gonna want to do that literally every day. And then you can move to like once a week, and then maybe once a month. But when you first start budgeting, you're gonna want to know what you spend your money on every day. You have to keep it so tight, because budgeting is serious if you want to be able to have enough to save in order to invest. Because we're not keeping it in no savings, and we're not saving it just for it to sit there. We're gonna let that money work for us. We're gonna let that money build over time. So then after you educate yourself about money, you get a regular source of income so you can start keeping money so you can invest later. You create your budget and you stick to your budget. You're going to want to have enough insurance. You're going to want to insure yourself. That's another thing. Keep yourself insured, because anything can happen to your money. Anything can happen to you. Anything, like, have a plan to where if something happens to you, your money just don't sit there somewhere and it get taken by the government. Oh, because the government takes people money. So if you don't want your money taken, you need to have a solid plan in order after you start keeping your money to invest your money. Or even after you start investing your money, you're going to want to have things in order to where if something happens to you, the person that you appoint as an attorney or appoint over you will know what to do with your assets. You don't want to just leave your assets out there to where your family cannot reach them or get them or use them in case something happens to you. That is big. Don't leave it up to the government, because if it's up to them, your family ain't gonna get nothing and they gonna get everything. So then after you do all that, you have your insurance after everything above, you want to practice extreme saving. And you also, if you have debt, you want to start knocking out your debt one by one, starting with the snowball effect. That is so effective. I'm doing it right now, and I already knocked off 3 things out of my debt. And also, when you start learning financial literacy and you learn budgeting, when you get through the stressful parts and you get your budgeting down, reading your credit report and your credit, like everything around it, becomes so much easier to understand. You start understanding what everything is. Like, it's broken down to you. You can see it in a different view, and it becomes easier to deal with your credit, to call credit bureaus, to get something taken off your credit report, to start building your personal credit back, making it better, to get inaccuracies off your credit report, to make sure everything match on your credit report. Like, it is so much easier to understand credit after you get your budget in order. After you get your budget in order and you decrease your stress, because every time you do something that invests in yourself or you helping yourself, trust me, it decreases your stress like no other. It helps your stress level like when I got done budgeting for the first time after a long time this year, my stress levels went down. Then once I start looking at my credit and I start, okay, this is going to fall off. I need to do this. I need to call this credit bureau. I need to make sure these 3 things match. And it started being easier to understand. Stress level went down. Things got lifted up off of me. And it's necessary if you want to build wealth. Now, if you don't want to build wealth and if you want to stay in a poor mind frame or a middle class mind frame, or don't want to learn financial literacy because you're not trying to build generational wealth or become a multimillionaire or become a billionaire, then this video is not for you. A lot of financial videos aren't going to be for you. But if this is for you, please comment down below and let me know what's something that you've done this year already to invest in yourself. Let me know, are you learning financial literacy? Do you want to break generational curses, period, but especially around financial literacy and having a poor mindset and a middle class mindset? Do you want to grow assets? Give me examples down below of some assets that you own. What are the best assets to have come 2022? Let me know. I always think real estate is a good asset to have, and also the stock market or index fund is good assets to invest in. Those are my personal preferences. You also can invest in many other things. There's many other passive incomes. Building a business, that is major, especially gaining business credit. Business credit versus personal credit is 2 different things, and both of them can be beautiful. You just have to learn financial literacy. So after you educate yourself about money, you get a regular source of income, you create your budget, you insure yourself, you practice extreme savings so you can invest, and you get your budget in order, you need to build an emergency fund. That's the next step to building wealth. You need to relieve your stress about what's going to happen if you lose your job, because we know you can lose your job any day, anytime, any moment. COVID should have let you know that job security is not real. The government is lying to you once again. They control the jobs, they control the workforce, they control who works and who doesn't work. It's up to you to get to the next level, to surpass it, to educate yourself on what's real and what's not real out here. You're gonna want to build an emergency fund. At least 3 months of your total expenses. The max, I would say 6 months. You don't want to hold that much money in the bank. And again, if you watch my last video, you shouldn't keep any money in the bank. But if you do, the only money that you should keep in there is your emergency fund. But again, I wouldn't even keep that in the bank. I would keep that at family members' houses, at different properties that I own. I would keep that where it can't be found. I would even bury it. Like, I would just do things different. I wouldn't keep it where it can get stolen, where it can get taken, because the banks and the government, if you go watch my last video, is taking people money left and right, and they don't care. They don't care, and they're not going to care. So you're going to want to have an emergency fund. 3 months at the least amount of your total expenses, what you live off of, literally. The most 6 months, and put that up. It's going to be a chip off your shoulder, baby. It's going to make them stress levels go way down, but it's an emergency fund. Do not touch it. It's untouchable. You cannot touch it. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. You're going to be tempted to touch it, especially if you don't learn financial literacy. If you don't learn what building wealth is all about, you're going to be so tempted to touch it. Do not touch it. Don't touch it. It's an emergency fund. It's there for a reason. It's there to keep you with cushion, okay? More cushion for the pushing. Hey, more cushion for the pushing. Yeah, like, keep you there with some cushion, okay? After that, you want to improve your skill set. You want to keep getting better and better and better. You don't want to stay stagnant. You don't want to stay the same. You don't want to not grow mentally, because like I said, you'll become a 50-year-old with a 13-year-old mentality, or a 60-year-old with a 30-year-old mentality. You want to keep gaining knowledge. You don't want to ever stop learning. It is so bad out here. When you stop learning, anything can happen. You'll fall for anything, because what a person's tell you, you're going to believe. So stop not seeking knowledge. Please keep on seeking knowledge, especially about financial literacy. Learn what's the best thing that I can do to build a lot of money, a lot of wealth with the least amount of work. Like I said, investments, index funds, stocks, real estate, building a business, an online business where you don't have to do that much work. Be intentional with wealth building. You have to be intentional with wealth building. You have to want to learn the knowledge and read the books. You can't just sit there and think you know it all and think that the things that happened in the past that you were doing is going to keep working. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, thinking you're going to get a different result when you're not. You're literally a hamster on a wheel. You're in the rat race. Keep doing that. You have to figure out what can be done different in order to reap different results. So that's Wealth Building 101. I hope y'all got some nuggets from this video, and I will keep dropping informational, inspirational, and motivational videos as much as I can to help build this world up one person at a time. So with that being said, I hope y'all have a very beautiful, best day like always. And I love y'all. Mwah.